All right, well, morning routine is really important for me. And actually, it all starts the night before. And this is something that I started to put into practice probably about 7 or 8 months ago. I learned it from Tim Farnes, so one of our partners. And he described to me the importance of planning your day the day before. And so for me, it's like us having these notebooks is really valuable. If I'm not using this one, I'm using another one. I've got several pads laying around, but essentially what I do is to finish the night, I create a list of things that I'm going to do the next morning. So for me, it's often like who I need to email, who I need to contact, if there's any phone calls I need to make, what time or around what time I plan on working out. And then if there's any programming that I need to get done for my remote athletes. And a lot of times what I'll do then is prioritize it and stuff that has to get done. And then some of the other stuff is a little softer, and then clearly leave some room for like day-to-day meetings that we have for the company that might not be anticipated. So that's actually where my morning starts. The literal morning itself usually is my alarm goes off at 5:05. And I'm usually down here before 5:15. Try to be as quiet as I can to keep the house as quiet as possible without stirring up too much. But I get down here, usually get hydration, lots of water in me. The first thing, take my apple cider vinegar with some water or mix it with LaCroix. And then, the process kind of gets rolling with either restart alone or some restart and some coffee as I kind of get to the emails and some programming stuff to kick off my day. The one thing that I'll say is that like if I don't have something to do in the morning, so if I don't, or scratch that, not that I don't have something to do, but if I don't prioritize getting out of bed and getting my day started, I almost feel like I'm behind as the day goes on, because inevitably between, being a husband, a father, a business owner, a coach, there are things that happen. Like once the sun comes up and everyone else starts their day, there are things that I have to answer to or help with or be obligated to being a part of. And so this morning time before the sun comes up, when there's only kind of me doing things, I can actually be productive and focus on what I want to focus on. Another element of that is just some time that I can spend connecting spiritually with the Bible, through prayer. It provides me with something where there's like calmness and the house is so still that it almost just gives me this ability to connect on a deeper level where it might not be the same with background noise going on or kids running up and down the street or in the backyard. So I think that I would advise most people to try to create a morning structure, a morning routine if you can. I know that everyone's not a morning person, but for me, it creates freedom. And with that freedom, it creates this sense of fulfillment, to be honest with you. So I get out of bed, and not every day it's easy, and it doesn't happen every single day. Usually I aim for about 4 out of the 5 days a week, and I get one day to kind of sleep in, if you would consider it that. So I set that precedent throughout the week, and there are certain days of the week where it's more important than others. But I think that freedom and in that self-fulfillment is something that gets me off on the right foot, and it gives me, either 90 minutes to almost 2 hours of time that doesn't exist if I just want to lay around in my bed all day. So, and restart is a really big part of that for me. The product tastes delicious. The new mocha flavor I love because it's really easy for me to either drink it in the morning alone and still enjoy that coffee flavor without the caffeination and really just getting the probiotics and the nootropics and clearly my 22 grams of protein. Or it also gives me the opportunity to mix it with coffee. And for me, someone that commonly drinks coffee straight black, it's a great way to get this element of like, oh, this is a treat. I'm starting my day off with a treat, or even sometimes I save it for the mid-morning. But it's a great way for me to focus. I've said this to many times to many people kind of jokingly that I feel like I speak more fluidly and I type more fluidly when I've got some nootropics in my system. So to me, it's like a brain drug, a great way to get my morning started and off on the right foot.